Kungsleden in northern Sweden, what is that? In this video I'm going to show you a part of Kungsleden in northern Sweden. I'm going to talk about what Kungsleden is. I'm going to show you a little bit how it works in the cabin and how the trail could look like and so on. During 6 days I'm going to travel with 4 guests and 28 huskies and 1 border collie along Kungsleden. We are south of Sitojaure right now. My name is Matti. I'm working as a dog musher and nature guide in northern Sweden. Outdoor life and traveling in this area is actually what I'm doing for a living. So welcome to my home. Sitojaure mountain station is where we start and end this tour. That station belongs to Svenska Turistföreningen or something like Swedish Tourist Club something. That's an organization who keep some infrastructure up in the mountain like mountain huts and mountain stations. It's beginning of March and we have a very warm period right now. It has been around 0 or actually plus degrees, and today the sun is shining and no wind. This is extremely good condition. As you see, we are in a kind of wind exposed area here. It is small birches, there is open area, and when you have snowstorm here, it is kind of messy area. But we're also heading south from here, so we're going to see a total different kind of landscape a little bit later during this tour.
In end of 1800, some people start planning to make a trail up in the mountain between the most beautiful places. They planned that this trail should be the king of the trails. And the total distance today is 430 kilometers. Today we went the 20 kilometers from Sitojaure mountain lodge down to Sitojaure cabin. When you start in Sitojaure, you start low in pine tree forest. Then you climb up to the mountain and cross a valley with no trees above the tree line. Sitojaure is also quite high, but is still lower than the tree line. Now we have had dinner here in the cabin and it's super beautiful stars outside, but I really want to go to bed. I already fall to sleep here on the floor in the kitchen, so time to go to bed now. See you tomorrow. It's a new day and it's much colder today outside. It has been almost 20 degrees below 0 Celsius tonight, but that's what happens when it's clearing up. In a cabin like this, when you have a stove with fire, you should take advantage of that and have a pot with water on top of that, because you always need for dishing and you need for the dogs and you need everything. So in March the temperature can be everything from raining, because it's a warm week, a warm period, but it's also like now it can be down to -20, even -30 and lower. When you go closer to April or you go into April, it's more rare that the temperature go below -20. But it happened also. And the hour of daylight this time of the year is amazing if you compare to January. Now I need some coffee. Just some simple powder coffee.
Now we are back on the trail again, and today we're heading south towards Aktse. We are not following the Kungsleden straight over the mountain, because that's just 13 kilometers and it's a hell of a downhill towards Aktse. And that kind of downhill I really don't want to make with a sled and a bunch of dog in front of me. So we don't do it. Instead we're going all the way down to Sito River Bridge. We right now follow the valley of the Sito River. So the trail here is marked with red cross. That's all winter trail. The summer trail is marked with paints on the stones, paints on the rocks and trees and so on. This cross have 40 meters between each other when it's up in the mountain, when they are on the sticks. If it's a double cross on the stick, that means that the trail bends. You will see it here. There is one cross, and there, up there is two cross on the trail there. And that's because it's a bend on the trail. So then it continues straight again, and then it's just a single cross on each pole. Back in the old days, when they had wood poles for the cross, you could actually say that the trail continued 90 degrees to the cross. But today with the iron cross, that's not, you can't trust that anymore. Some part of the trail has so deep snow, so the cross are gone, they are under the snow. Then the nature rangers usually come here and put reflection sticks, so you should find the trail anyway. And when the trail crosses lakes, they have also marked it with sticks. We will see that later tomorrow when we crossing some big lakes, then you see that. We have done most of the part now with the dog teams, and we're coming closer and closer to the Lake Sitojaure. When you reach Aktse and the Rapa Valley from this side, you get the amazing view of Skerfe, Tjakkeli and Nammac in middle. That's actually the gate to Sarek. And right now I'm just enjoying the view. It's so beautiful. We're very soon in Aktse cabin, and then we are back on the main Kungsleden again. It's a new day in the north, and I had a nice cup of coffee. In these cabins you fetch the water on different places. Sitojaure and Pårte, there is lakes, but here in Aktse there is a small creek, a very good water hole, and you bring it in buckets like this, and there is a little bit to walk here, 100 meters something to, I don't know. One thing that is important, you see this lid, these ones, they don't grow on trees. I don't know why, but in all cabins there's a lot of these cans, but people lost this one. And these ones, the small ones, they almost every time gone, and you had to plug it. So don't lose this. They don't grow on the trees. Whoops! No.
If you look over there in the snow, there is a lot of feathers, and it's a dead bird. So some owl or falcon or something like that have hit the bird and probably eaten it. I heard yesterday a owl called sparrow owl in Swedish. I don't know the name. It's very tiny and it sounds like that, and they eating other birds, of course. And down here we have next thing, that's a dead female reindeer. A lot of tracks from foxes here that have been there for a while. Tragic in the nature.
We just started out from Aktse, and it's always kind of interesting start there. All starts are interesting, but Aktse is extremely interesting because you start out in a downhill. I didn't film it. Maybe one day I'll film and show you. It went well, and now we are just in front of the gate of Pårte. Järve on the right side, the cliff 700 meters, not much in the middle, and Jokkmokk on the left. This is one of the most famous view in the Swedish mountain range, I would say, and one of the most beautiful probably. I follow the marked winter trail here. If you go higher up to the delta, you should know that it comes out river there, and the ice is not safe everywhere. This is actually a water power station further downstream here, and this lake is a kind of dam where they store water for the winter. This lake freezes in autumn on high water level, and then during the winter they use the water for producing electricity. That's why it looks like this. So the ice is laying down on the bottom of the lake, and now we are on the water level here. And the people have been driving around with snowmobiles like crazy here, but don't trust the trail, because people today go quite fast with powerful machines that can run over water. So if you're a skier, stay on the trail, if you don't know this area, of course. So this is how they produce green electric energy in Sweden. The whole ecosystem here is more or less killed, and instead of being one of the richest valley in Jokkmokk with game, wildlife, this is now just a water magazine like this, water dam. And as you see, in springtime when the ice melts and it starts filling up, the bottom is dead more or less here. Very sterile area, very sad history about this place, and yeah, but it's also interesting when they're talking about this green electricity. Yeah, is it how it is? People who make this trail, they somehow want to reach the next cabin as fast as possible. I don't really know why, because you are here because you want to be outside. So my advice to all of you who are going to make this trail with skis or whatever, bring food, bring snacks, bring coffee and stay on the trail.
Really good.
Really? Yeah, you made it by yourself?
Yes, everything.
That's maybe the reason.
I created the pita as well.
Yes, yes. We are closer and closer to the Pårte cabin, and the sun is very soon setting down. I think we had a nice day on the trail today. We have barbecued and made coffee and enjoyed this day. That's super lovely. Now the cabin is waiting for us. Some dinner, dog food, and all the classic work, firewood, water and all that, you know. Vänster, 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 nej, vänster, 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 vänster. Vänster! Vänster, vänster, nej, vänster! Oh, look. Whoa.
The toilets out here is always a separate building, and it's a little bit away from the main building. This one have 4 doors, 4 toilets. One stugvärd is the host, and then you have 3 other toilets for the guests. Let's look into it. The seat here is a kind of styroplastic something. It's not cold to sit on. They usually add a piece of wood or something like that, because otherwise in snowstorm this flies away. You're sitting down on this. I very often take a piece of paper, and yeah, they are clean, but I take a piece of paper anyway, and yeah, just for safety. The toilets have toilet paper, but before you sit down and do your thing, check. So there is toilet paper. If it's not toilet paper there, talk with the cabin ward, and then they fix it for you. You have these plastic bags. If you have menstruation or something like that, then you can use that. There is some art on the walls, as you see. You do your needs in here, and then you check the seat, so you don't left something on the seat that you don't want to, that shouldn't be on the seat. You close it, and then you're done. These toilets are not like at home, of course, but there is no problem. They don't smell because it's frozen in the winter time, and yeah, they are actually really good, and the cabin walls in the place keep them clean. There is a hole. Don't look into the hole, because what you have seen you can't make unseen. Somewhere on the cabin place there is also a yellow corner, and the yellow corner is where people can go peeing instead of peeing into the toilet. If you can avoid some pee in the toilet, you avoid some smell for the summer. They call it usually gentleman's corner, but it is a yellow corner, so women can also use it if they want.
Almost ready. Yes, now we go. So when I'm moving to my sled, they get crazy. So now untangle my team, anchor, go. Yeah, yeah. It actually looked like we managed the start. Yeah, amazing. Now we are on our way back towards Aktse. We do the same trail again as we did yesterday, but from opposite direction. And is that boring or not boring? I think it's not boring, because you see it from a different side now, and the weather has changed totally. It's no blue sky anymore, and it starts showing up some clouds. It's actually more or less cloudy everywhere. Good working temperature for the dogs, and the trail is fantastic, so we just enjoy the ride. So Aktse cabin have a shop and a sauna, and they are a little bit different from the other cabins who just have a cabin. Anyway, we are soon there, and then probably coffee, dog feeding, food, and all the same thing that we usually do. But here I think I had to stop. Stanna, because the people in my group wanted to make a picture of the lake, of the view here. I can understand that. It's really beautiful.
Now we are in Aktse, and behind me here is a small shop. And it's not like a big supermarket, but you find some food, some souvenirs, and yeah, small stuff.
Now we left Aktse and we're heading east into the forest. We leave the mountains behind us and enter this old, very, very beautiful forest. We're doing this round tour because with dog teams, the Kungsleden from Aktse to Sitojaure is quite steep uphill, and it's more fun to do a longer stretch around the mountain than running uphill. So during this tour we go around. when you're looking at famous trails like Kungsleden and similar trails, if you just leave the main trail a little bit, few kilometers, then you are alone. All the people goes on the main trail and they don't leave the trail actually. Yeah, the dogs are doing fine, we are doing fine, and as usually I'm looking forward to a cup of coffee again, and soon we're going to have our coffee. Here we have a track from a wolverine. Super big footprints. So it's clearing up more and more, as you see. And this ridge of the mountain called Aktse, and you can see the original Kungsleden going down there. We have been driving behind that all the way down and then coming this trail here, and now we continue into Sitojaure. It's a good day, it's 40k. If you go straight over the mountain, it's only 13 kilometers. For skiers, I think it's to prefer to go over.
So these cabins are equipped with gas stoves, so you can cook your own food in these cabins. In the cabins you have pots, so you don't need to bring your own pots. And they have frying pans, and they have most of the equipment that you need for cooking. There is a switch on the wall where you switch on and off the gas, and this is super important during the night. This should be switched off. You switch on the gas there, and then you turn this thing and you must push it. Then it starts coming gas. And then you lighten it and you hold it in, pushed in for a while, and while it's burning, and then you can release it. Because it's a kind of safety thing. Sometimes they're a little bit tricky to deal with. But remember to switch off the gas when you leave the gas stove in the night. Down here on the floor, here is the dirty water. Up here you have the fresh water. Never ever mix these pots with each other. Water, dirty water or grey water. Super important. You have all different plates, you have all different glasses, coffee mugs, all things like that. You have a lot of other things for cooking here. You have also spoons, forks, everything like this. So the cabin in Sitojaure, the room here, are heated up with gas. When you're going to start this stove, the first thing is the gas here. It's the same as in the kitchen, it must be open like this. And that's also how you close it afterwards. You close the gas there. So that's how you close the heater. But first of all, now we'll show you how to start it. Open the gas. Then you turn this one until it's on the N or a drip. You start the gas with the button under here. No gas, and then you need a sparkle. And then up here, there, it's a small glass, and if you look there, you maybe see a bluish flame. You see it through there, yeah. And the important thing is that you hold this in for a while. When you have made the sparkle, you hold it in and watching the flame, and then you release it. It's a kind of safety thing. After that you can turn up the flame, so, and then you can see inside there how it starts burning, the bluish flamish thing in there. When you heat up a cabin here, you should remember that all the gas, all the firewood, it's a lot of work to bring it here, and it's quite expensive to bring it here. So don't burn a lot of firewood, don't burn a lot of gas and then open the window. If you think it's too warm, switch off the gas. Don't burn so much firewood until the whole cabin is glowing, because it's really getting warm here very fast. So when you feel that the temperature start going up, slow down the heaters or slow down the speed that you're feeding the stove with, and then you save work and money for the Swedish Tourist Club. That's how it is. So now I think it's time to go to bed, and I have a lot of dogs in here because it's some skinny dogs, some dogs that haven't been eating good, and one dog that have loosened the hair a little bit. So yeah, we just have to take care of them. A lot of dogs inside. See you tomorrow. Ciao. So it's a new day, and it's almost 20 below zero out there. I'm in the kitchen, and this kitchen is heated up with a wood stove, like that. The firewood is something that you had to cut and splint by yourself. There is a wood shed, and in that wood shed there should be one dry firewood, but it's in logs, so you had to cut it with a handsaw, and then you had to splint it. And there is an axe there for splinting, and there is also other tools for splinting wood that's more safe. So, but with this group, my plan was to film it, but I haven't been able to filming woodshed work because my group have been cutting all the firewood all the time and almost fetching all the water also, so I have been kind of useless sometimes. No, but when you are several person in a cabin like this, you usually share the work between each other. So here, for example, it can be a ski group or two ski groups at the same time as we are here, and then you maybe make you don't use 20-liter water per group if you are just a skier. So maybe one of the skier just pick up some firewood and you take care of the water. So a lot of cooperation. Very nice. And before leaving the cabin, you also make the floor. And you make the floor both in the kitchen area and you make the floor in your sleeping room. You make the bed and check so you not forget something there. It's super common that people leave a telephone, a charger, a book or something behind. That happens very often. But cleaning up and leaving the cabin in a better shape than when you arrived, that's how it works out here. That's how you should do it. It's much more fun to find a cabin when it's nicely done than if you had to start cleaning it when you arrive.
So now it's still kind of relaxed, and soon I will make my jacket, red jacket. because when I put my jacket on, the dogs know, wow, now we go. And then they usually turn crazy. Klaas! Klaas is already understanding that it's time to go. Yeah, yeah. Sakta!
Bye bye Sitojaure. See you in a couple of days again, because I will be back. So now we are doing the last stretch back to Sitojaure, and this is the most exposed stretch during the whole tour, I would say. So now you have seen a little bit of Kungsleden south of Sitojaure, and I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you get some useful information about this tour, about this area. Big thanks for watching this video, and if you want to help us and help yourself with getting more similar content, then you should give a thumbs up to this video, or you should subscribe to this channel, because then YouTube show more content from YouTube that is similar to this. If you have something to add, if you have some questions about Kungsleden, feel free to leave comments. We will answer as much as we can, and maybe you will answer some comments from other people who comment on the comments, or I don't know. Yeah, you understand that. And also a big thanks to Diogo and Fanny's, Jan and Martina who joined this tour. I hope I see you back again in the north, and now I heading out on the next tour, so stay tuned, there will be more videos. See you later, ciao.